I know that there are a lot of people that have sadly been laid off in the last year, and a lot of people from large corporations, especially the airlines, who have to choose what to do with their pensions. And today I'm going to talk about one thing that I absolutely do not want you to do with your pension. And I always get yelled at by people that like work at World Financial Group when I do videos like this. So instead of doing it like I would normally do and be like, don't do this because, what I want you to do is, if somebody from one of these institutions has come up to you and actually tried to sell you on doing this with your pension, I want you to ask them the following questions. That's all I want you to do. If you're trying to decide what to do with the pension and if you should commute it or not, that's a really big deal. So it's a really important question. You should actually have somebody look at, the pros and cons of keeping it in if you have the choice, and does it make sense financially, because the agent, the person on my end of the table, is always going to want you to invest the money because it's like a big payday. Because this is like a big chunk of money, probably the biggest chunk of money most people are ever going to get at one time that they can invest. So obviously it's a huge deal for people in my industry. That's why they're like jacked up, because you're losing your job. So maybe you've been introduced to a business owner or whatever at this company that works at that company, where there's like a person at the top and then like there's people like under them or whatever on angles or whatever, and there's a chance that they're going to try and sell you the idea that you should put your pension into a segregated fund. And I would suggest that this is an absolutely terrible idea for just a variety of reasons, and I would never recommend that a seg fund be used in this manner under any circumstances for anyone. And look, I can sell segregated funds. I am an insurance agent, and if I did this, I would make tons of more money than I actually do, but I would never do this. So that's why I'm saying this to you, because please don't do it. So what I want you to ask the questions is, okay, well, they're going to say, do this because, this is great. And then I want you to say, is there any chance you can sell me anything else, or is this the only thing you can sell me because you're only insurance licensed? So there's a very important first question. So if you know that they're only insurance licensed, then you shouldn't be getting your investment information from them, because they should have both. If you're going to buy investments of someone, then make sure that they're not just insurance licensed. There's one. Then say, how much money is this going to cost me? And then say, what are the fees associated with this fund? And actually get them to show you, because generally speaking, they're about 1% higher than their exact equivalent in the mutual fund world. So that means that it is going to guaranteed get a rate of return that is less than its mutual fund counterpart, because it's going to have some guarantees built into it. So there's another one. Now I want you to ask, okay, so this is a lump sum going into an insurance product. Are you going to make a big upfront commission for selling this? Are you going to make an upfront commission? If you could sell me that mutual fund counterpart, would you make an upfront commission as well? It's an important question to ask. So why don't we ask it, and then ask exactly how much money would you make? Because I could speculate, if you had $100,000 going into a lira, they're probably going to make around $4,000 for that one deal right off the bat. And it could be bigger, 500,000. There are huge pensions, right? This could be huge money in somebody's pocket. And so when you realize, like, okay, maybe they're just looking out for themselves and not me. Maybe this isn't the person that I want to be investing my entire pension with. Now, they're going to say, okay, well, it's also great because you can name a beneficiary and it will be outside of probate. They say, oh, that's interesting. You say, I have a question about that. Can I not name a direct beneficiary for my registered accounts like my LIRA and my RSP and my TFSA anyways? So couldn't those avoid probate anyways? And also, are you suggesting that I can avoid paying taxes because this is going directly to my estate or my named beneficiaries? Because if you are suggesting that, then you're dead wrong, because it's actually in a registered account, a LIRA or an RSP, and as soon as you pass away, it's going to be sold and taxed just like any other investment, no matter what it is, inside of one of those accounts. So seg funds can make sense sometimes for like business owners that maybe want money to go directly to their estate or however they want that to work, and want some of those guarantees that they're okay paying extra money for. But inside of a registered account, there is basically no case to be made for this. There's also the idea, and yes, I talked about it last week, that I'm worried about the market. But I never said anything about the idea of the market not coming back. It always comes back. And seg funds have gotten their guarantees to extend out so long that basically never in history have accounts or like funds or anything been down in value by the time that they get to where their guarantee is that you're not going to lose your money. So it's almost a useless guarantee that you're just paying extra money for. And there is zero benefit for you actually putting your seg fund into your LIRA and your RSP. So please don't do it. Please don't listen to that person. Please don't be sold on fancy words and stuff, and start asking actual questions about why are you telling me to do this? Because there are better options out there, and a lot of good advisors that can help you with these things.